Greetings people. We are anonymous. Karma is coming for the elite in a big way. As the powers that be head toward a devastating defeat in their war plans for Syria, signs are emerging that their rule over humanity is rapidly diminishing. Over the last decade, the global elite have been on a mad dash to consolidate power over the world. It's always been their plan, like some evil villain in a comic book, but after 9/11 the plan went into overdrive and then turbocharged during the financial crisis of 2008. Yet it's doomed to fail because humans are meant to be guided by their own free will, not controlled like livestock. The more the elite try to control humanity, the more entropy occurs. Entropy, for those who don't know, is the lack of order or predictability. A gradual decline into disorder. Although the elite still enjoy a huge wealth advantage over the masses, they are now resigned to behaving like tyrants to maintain control. This, in turn, exposes their dark side, which has been cleverly concealed for ages. Not anymore. People are waking up in droves, at least as fast as the elite can build their full-spectrum prison matrix. Let them try. To paraphrase Victor Hugo, no army can stop an idea whose time has come. Here are 10 signs that the elite are losing control over the people. 1. Official lies no longer effective. The lies they tell simply don't work anymore. There was a time when official lies, especially about war and peace, were believed. Because, after all, how evil would it be to lie about such things? Generally, people want to believe they are being told the truth when life and death is at stake. The boy who cried wolf has cried one too many times. Even if they told the truth at this point, very few would believe them. 2. No confidence in politics. US politicians have a paltry approval rating. The trust in government is at all-time lows here and around the world. Mainstream polls show only 10% of the public has confidence in Congress. In other words, 90% don't believe in them to be competent to govern. 3. No confidence in media. The most recent polls show that 77% of the population no longer trusts corporate TV news. Is it any wonder why the establishment media failed to sell the lies about the alleged Syria chemical event? With all their monopoly might over the airwaves, they can no longer claim that black is white simply because officialdom says so. 4. Bankers rejected. Hungary recently became the first country to follow Iceland's lead by shedding international bankers. IMF and is considering pursuing prosecution of past prime ministers who enslaved the people with debt. 5. Vatican abruptly cleaning up its act under the previous Pope, Pope Benedict. Scandals erupted from the Vatican, ranging from covering up pedophile priests to money laundering and fraud. Benedict, in an unprecedented move, abruptly retired to make way for a seemingly much more likable Pope Francis. Pope Francis, by all measures, is working furiously to reclaim the Church's peaceful and humble reputation. Whether this is genuine or a PR move, it's telling that the Church was forced into such a drastic turnaround to save itself from losing all credibility. 6. Mutiny among soldiers. Finally, soldiers, who are outlawed from making political statements, are steadily speaking out against U.S. military adventurism. As Einstein famously said, the pioneers of a warless world are the young men and women who refuse military service. 7. Militarized police state. One of the darkest signs that the elite are losing their grip on power is the construction of the militarized police state, specifically trained to combat domestic civil unrest. Local cops with tanks and other combat gear are working with feds at fusion centers. Active army units are on American soil for the first time in history. The NSA spy grid is being used by the IRS and DEA, and the elimination of due process for Americans under the NDAA are just some of the tyrannical moves made to secure the elite criminals from public backlash. They're clearly scared, and they should be given what they've done to the American people in the Constitution. 8. Serious secession movements everywhere. A state seceding from a larger political entity used to be an ultra-fringe concept, until now. In America, secession movements are winning over the public in parts of Colorado and California. In Europe, serious secession movements are happening in Spain and Scotland, as well as several EU nations flirting with the idea of dropping out of the euro. Decentralization equal entropy. 9. GMO food being rejected everywhere. Control the food and you control the people. True in theory, but much more difficult in practice. GMO leaders like Monsanto are being exposed. All of their economic and political strength cannot defeat the spread of knowledge about the dangers of pesticide-soaked frankenfoods. GMO fields are being burned in protest in America and around the world. Informed nations continue to reject the products, and labeling laws are gaining traction. 10. Cannabis liberation. Many reading this will think marijuana legalization is a superficial development. However, it is a major signpost that the elite's grip is fading. Enormous resources have been spent to keep cannabis illegal. Cannabis has been a powerful medicine for physical, mental, and spiritual health throughout the ages. This single plant represents a huge threat to the power structures and their industries, hence its seemingly senseless illegality. The approaching global reversal of the tyrannical policy of prohibition is the first of many concessions to come.